Hey up, welcome to the Cannon Hall Farm podcast. With us, the Nicholson brothers, farmers Rob and Dave.
We're two Yorkshire farmers who, along with our dad Roger, brother Rich and the rest of our family, have turned a farm with 2 sheds and a barn into an award-winning tourist attraction.
You've seen us on the telly, live on Facebook, and now we're here with our very own podcast.
Today we're going back in our family history and we're delighted to be joined by our mum Cynthia and dad Roger.
Coming up.
Do you think you got your green fingers off him?
Something I've always liked doing. I had a lovely garden here.
No, car
We said we weren't going to talk about that. We turned mum's garden into a car park.
They never told me. They dug the trees up and they went.
Right, big episode today. Most important guest we're ever likely to have. It's me mum. Are you excited?
I am, and my dad as well. You know, they come as a pair, so I'm excited to find out what they're going to tell us.
Are you nervous about what she might say?
No, not really. My mum's my mum. She's a straight talker.
She absolutely is. But before she joins us, what have you been up to this week?
Well, Rob, for a change, we've actually been working together.
In harmony?
I'd say so. We didn't fall out until the journey home.
Yeah.
Basically, we've been worming sheep. We've been sorting out 100 odd sheep for going to the top. And, so we're picking the best ones, and that gives the others time to get a little bit fitter for the April lambing season.
Exactly. We want sheep lambing at February half term. We want sheep lambing in the Easter holidays as well. And we've made our selections, and if we don't get many lambs, it's our fault.
It is. We can't blame anyone else, except for the sheep, I suppose.
No, we're one team, one dream. We're not going to blame the sheep. We're all going to work together to hopefully deliver lambs for springtime. So we're going to welcome Mum to the sofa. If you can hear any noise in the background, it's just her oxygen machine. Should we get this settee shifted and get her in?
Yep.
Come on. On a previous episode of the podcast, we heard all about Mum and Dad's early life at Cannon Hall Farm. Now, I think Mum fancied having a go herself. She'd heard us waffling on to some degree, and she thought she might like to have her 2 penneth. So I'm delighted to say they're here with us today, and we're going to interview you both. Can I ask the first question? What was your first impression of Cannon Hall Farm when you first came here?
I thought it was very nice. It was a very nice countryside. Lots of nice animals, which was the kind of thing I liked. So, I enjoyed it, yeah.
So what first attracted you to Cawthorne?
Because I met your dad.
Was he a good-looking fella?
Yes.
Or still is, probably.
Lots of black hair.
Thank you.
It's like that thing. What first attracted you to the millionaire, Paul Daniels?
Millionaire, gosh. Big disappointment then.
Yeah.
So, tell us, Mum, what sort of thing did you do when you first came to Cannon Hall Farm to visit Dad? Did he take you to the pictures? Did you go to a dance? You know, what type of thing did you do on a date?
On a date, if we were going, we went out sometimes to Wakefield, the steakhouse.
Right.
But we always took Stephen with us.
Stephen as in my cousin?
Yeah, we had to babysit him.
I wouldn't say always, but
Really always.
he was there quite a bit.
And was he a bit of a gooseberry? Did he get in the way?
It's good fun. I remember drilling corn, which I really enjoyed doing. It was getting on and off the drill and stopping it and starting it again. And
We put you to work?
oh yeah.
Were you driving the tractor?
No, I was on the back of the drill.
Making sure it's full of seed?
Well, the idea was to keep it going and you to jump on and off
Yeah, off
while
the back.
while it was in motion, really.
And
So
keep lifting.
the handle,
Yeah.
you took it out and that stopped the corn coming down and straight back in when you got into the row. So
So if you didn't do it right, when it came
It looked a
springing,
mess.
it was a mess, you see. So it was.
So if the crop hadn't grown in spring, it might have finished you.
And was it good? Was the crop good?
it looked fine, yeah.
I
Actually
did
passed
that
that
with
test.
Eric Rowe as well.
I think
He
that was in the high field, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It was in the 12 acre.
All right, well, that was another time then.
Maybe it was someone else, Dad.
It could have been.
Oh, heck.
Yeah.
No,
And
I didn't give
another day, a November day, it was raining and nasty. And he had me pulling turnips and chopping them, you know.
Pulling and chopping turnips in the rain in November.
Yeah.
I think it'd be doing it at a time when you...
Because I did have a job.
Yeah, you know, weekends.
Fair point. So you had a job of your own full-time across the carpets.
I did.
And then on a weekend you came and bailed Dad out as his extra labour.
Extra labour, yeah.
It was just a team effort, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, let's go back to the start. Tell us about your early life.
Well, I grew up in Halifax. I lived in a very small house, cottage, I don't know. We only had one bedroom, and there were 4 of us. And we had a loo you went out to. You know, you didn't have one in the house. There was running water, but no hot water. Dad had put a big blanket across the room so that Ted and I were in one half and they were in the other half.
Bit of privacy.
Bit of privacy, yeah. And then it's no wonder there weren't any more, is there? And then I can remember having a birthday party and they all went upstairs and were banging and the light fitting fell off the roof and into the sandwiches, so it broke, smashed. So we had nothing to eat. So anyway, Mum sorted that out. So it was a very unusual house. And then they got a council house when I was about 8.
And where was that one?
Mixenden.
Oh, Lost Valley.
Lost Valley, yeah.
That's what Grandad used to call it.
Yeah, so we went there, had a bedroom each, it was all very posh.
Right.
And a big garden, nice garden. He loved his garden. I used to ride my bike to see my grandma every Sunday. But you never saw a car.
Where did she live?
Norton Tower.
Oh, right, so...
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. You never saw a car, you just get on your bike and went. And so it was very safe, really. And we went up to the farm to see the hens and everything. And then gradually, when we actually moved up there when I was about 12 or 13, because Auntie Flo died. So my mum and dad moved up there to help Uncle Reg and with the farm and everything. So we all moved in there.
You see, I just assumed you'd been there a lot longer than that. I thought you maybe had 2 or 3 years somewhere else. No. I didn't realise that.
I thought you lived there all the time. No. I never knew that.
And you were quite lucky with the school teacher as well, weren't you, really? Because she seemed to believe in walks around the reservoir and things like that.
Yeah, and my brother was only telling me this week that school's being burnt down.
Oh, right.
But they've rebuilt it, so...
She believed more in the exercise than the teaching sort of thing.
Yeah, the head teacher believed in look after the mind and the body. You didn't need to learn all this other stuff. So you went for walks in the... There was a big reservoir and... what would you call it? A plantation, really. Fir trees.
So is that learning outside the classroom?
Yeah, yeah.
She was ahead of her time.
And they had a garden there as well at that school. We gardened at that school.
One thing I remember a lot of is Grandad was obviously a really keen gardener. He used to grow leeks for shows and that sort of thing. Yeah. Do you think you got your green fingers off him?
Well, probably, yeah. Something I've always liked doing. I had a lovely garden here.
No, we said we weren't going to talk about that. We turned Mum's garden into a car park. We are very, very sorry. We have paid a penance for a long time ever since.
But they never told me. They dug the trees up and they went.
Anyway, let's go on to another subject.
Okay.
So, what school did you go to, Mum? And did anything notable happen at school, like you threw someone over a wall?
Well...
Go on, tell us about it.
Yeah, I had a fight and I threw her over the wall. Yeah.
Are you mentioning a name?
She might come and get me. Jenny Drummond.
Jenny, Mum is really sorry.
Yeah.
You know, fights, throwing over the walls, Mixenden, moving up to Norton Tower.
Yeah.
You know, were they presumably really happy times? They
Yeah,
certainly
they
were in
all
my
of them.
memory.
Yeah, I've always been reasonably happy.
And Uncle Reg obviously played a big part in your life. He was someone you thought a lot of.
Oh yeah, and he was he used to help me with my homework and things like that.
But he was really brainy, wasn't he?
Yeah,
So,
he was. Yeah.
And tell me, I still can't understand, why didn't you pass your 11 plus
I left my glasses at home.
on purpose?
No, that one. No, I didn't pass me 11 plus because I just didn't.
All right.
But I had another go when I was 13.
She had a chance because she
I had a chance.
regarded as somebody who
We
ought
just
to have gone.
should have got through.
But
So
you were-
I had another go, but I left my glasses at home and thought, well, that's that. I don't want to leave this school. I'm having a good time.
So you were happy in the school you were in, so
Yeah,
you
I
left your
didn't want
glasses
to
at home,
move,
so you didn't
no.
pass, right? No, I think there's something nice about that, though.
I think a good determined person, the farm wouldn't be where it is today without having determination and
Don't
a
overdo it,
fighting
right.
spirit. So, yeah.
I think also, if you've got a set of pals you're happy with, it does take some
Yeah, there were only
moving away from.
6 girls, you see, in the class. The rest, so we all got on really well. And,
You wanted to stay there.
yeah.
You're like 6 musketeers then.
Yeah,
stick
we used
together.
to...
You know,
Sports were good. Used tennis and netball and stuff.
you know, when you actually left school, was the Crossley Carpets your first job? Or did you have another job before then?
Oh, I went for an interview for another job. I didn't get it. I went for an interview for Crossley's and I got that one. So
And what
I
were
did
you doing
go
there?
though before I went got the jobs. I went to Sumlock comptometer in Park Square in Leeds on a course for a comptometer.
All right.
So and I passed that, so that made it easier to get a job.
So for those who don't know what a comptometer is, what is
It's
it?
an adding machine.
So it's a big calculator.
Yeah, if you were multiplying something, you got your fingers across the numbers and then you had to press it as many times as you want to multiply. And then it came up with an answer.
So it's a bit like learning to type.
Well, yeah, but I couldn't type.
Right, so you worked a comptometer at Crossley Carpets.
I did.
You met Dad.
I did.
Tell us about that. Where did you meet him and how?
I met him because, it was the 2nd of January 1962.
That's ingrained in your mind.
It
isn't
is, because
Yeah.
I was supposed to have my driving test.
Oh,
and it-
all right.
And it was cancelled for bad weather.
Right.
Because it was snowing like mad. Anyway, the test was cancelled, but there was still this party in Halifax. So Ted and I went. And they had games and... games and things, was it?
Party games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dancing.
Yeah.
Things like
yeah.
that.
So it was...
Supper.
And
Yeah,
how
we
many
had-
people were there?
Not very many. No, not very many at all, because it was
Well, it was
snowing.
really bad, and the fact that we'd gone through the snow from Barnsley to Halifax, and as you got nearer to Halifax, it got worse and worse.
And who did you go with Uncle Laurie?
Laurie and Shirley, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Was
So did
at
you
some-
sit in the back of the van?
Yeah.
Was it at somebody's house or was it in a
No.
pub?
No, it was a spring hall, they call it.
Yeah.
You stuck there.
Yeah.
And spring hall, it was quite a big, I don't know what it's for, but it had formerly been a home for somebody.
Yeah, I think
But,
so.
a bit like the one where a bit more modern than the you went to see on your travels. You know, the
Shibden Park.
Shibden Park.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So it was a stately home.
Yeah, it
type
was
thing.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have been at
Yeah,
one time.
Yeah.
So you two are at this party, right? Mum, what attracted you to Dad? Was it his dancing? You know, because he was a bit of a mover, I can remember.
Well, they had a game. First person to the... Was he a DJ, would you say?
So yeah.
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 With a stocking, right? And I just happened to be very quick and I got there first. So your dad came up and said, do you want a hand putting that back on?
Really?
And I said, no, I'm fine, thank you.
I can't believe I was so
I can't
forward,
either.
actually. Because I was a shy fella, really.
Oh, yeah.
And what were your next line? Do you fancy a chicken drumstick?
And then we carried on. I suppose we had a dance and all that. And then when it was time to leave, he said he'd like to see me again. So we arranged to meet in Halifax at the General Post Office, outside the General Post Office, on Commercial Street. And I went back to work the next day and I said to my friend Pauline, there's a lad coming all the way from Barnsley to see me. And then that's it, really.
Fabulous.
We went, and that was it. We went to the pictures then. Because Halifax was full of cinemas.
But I did get accused of always wanting to see the same type of picture.
He did,
Really.
yeah.
Cowboy.
Cowboys and
Native Americans.
Roman gladiators and things like that. Action-packed pictures, yeah.
And did that suit you, Mum?
None of your sloppy stuff.
And did you sit in those seats, those double seats, or did you have
They
individual?
didn't have any of those there.
Oh, right.
They were at Skelmanthorpe.
Yeah, but you liked you liked like sound of music and stuff like that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for you.
Well, I've graduated into it now. Yeah.
He did take me once to see it.
Yeah.
And now every time.
Young Farmer's Trip, I think, wasn't it?
One thing I love to see is
it was
all the
after we
stuff
got
you've got
married.
recorded on your telly at home. I can't imagine you'll ever find time to watch it all.
You don't even know how to put it on.
It doesn't. We have to ring Tom.
He's a serial recorder.
Well, I recorded something this week.
You did, and I don't know why.
And I saw a clip of it last night, and well, it's awful. I mean, I'm not a prude, but swear upon swear upon swear, it was awful, really. So I think that'd be one for Tom to come in
And delete.
and wipe out. I think, really.
So it's lucky that you were both up for a night out, or else if either of you had decided, actually, I can't be bothered tonight, then...
You lot wouldn't be
might
here.
not have been here.
And that's the way the world works, isn't it? Sometimes
is.
it's just that twist of
You either
fate.
go right or left, and whichever,
Yeah.
it can be a completely different story.
And if you hadn't turned right, you would have had a much less happy life, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not
yeah.
sure about that.
I would, yeah. Been a good one.
Well, that's it. You've been a very solid partnership, haven't you?
Yes.
And you've achieved such a lot.
Well, yeah, it seemed a struggle at one time, but we've got there.
Yeah, but that was really, in a way, the better time.
All right, okay.
It's all a good time, isn't it? And
Yeah.
it's just a matter of enjoying the journey. And luckily,
Yeah.
we've had a really, really good journey, haven't we?
Your mum really liked the proper farming side of things and producing whatever we could. You're a little bit sort of reluctant to come forward at sometimes, aren't you, in these sort of occasions?
To be fair though, Dad, I can understand Mum's point of view here. She's gone from sitting on the back of that corn drill, lifting bales, living a wonderful outdoor rural life.
Free-type life,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So that must have been something to really cherish, I would have thought.
Because I mean, what we've got now is totally different. You know, I bet we've had to evolve to keep the farm.
We've evolved in a good way. I'm sure it's.
Well, it's different, isn't it? It's a different experience. We still get to do a bit of farming. We were worming sheep yesterday, weren't we, Rob? And now we're sat in a settee talking to mum and dad. So
And it's quite. I mean, on our way up here, a bloke stopped with his car and. You know, saying
Yeah.
how do you do, and it's fine. I enjoy that sort of thing. But
I kept going.
people can, they stop because they're enjoying the situation here,
Yeah.
and I think that's great, really.
So how did you take to living in Barnsley after coming from Halifax? Did you take to it seamlessly? Were there any struggles?
Well,
Besides my mother.
Oh gosh.
what did your mother do wrong?
Sorry, Gran.
No, but it was as much I think a trauma for my mother as it was for you, really.
Probably more. She's
Yeah.
lost you.
Well,
she didn't lose me, but it were a different.
Yes,
he only went 150 yards up road.
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah,
It must have been different, but you soon made lots of friends.
I didn't make lots of friends. I
Yeah.
made a few. I remember when we did get married, we had I don't know why, but we hadn't been shopping. And then he retired to bed with flu.
Did he?
So Uncle Will, took me into town to a supermarket to buy some stuff.
All right.
We hadn't got a cooker, so it were beans on toast on the fire.
Right.
I mean, I don't know why we hadn't got a cooker, but we hadn't.
Well,
And then,
we got everything else, and we perhaps forgot the cooker.
so yeah, that was a bit of a trauma.
Yeah, that was quite an experience in actual fact, going and buying settees and tables and you with your carpets that you got at Crossley Carpets, you knew which you liked, and you went and got all the bargains, the seconds and the
Sultana.
yeah,
Sultan, I loved that. I wish I could have it again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do they still make it?
I've no idea.
When we went
they don't make anything. Do they?
Well, we went to Crossley Carpets, David and I, to film Our Great Yorkshire Life.
Yeah.
And the guy that we filmed with, I think it was Alan, he said Sultana was the absolute creme de la creme. It was something they were all fiercely proud of.
Yeah, it was.
And they had all these little offcuts that they all stitched together.
Yeah.
And every employee bought the Sultana carpet and
Yeah.
Yeah.
had it in their house, and it lasted for years. It
Yeah,
was
I don't
such
know
good
how we got
quality.
rid of it, really.
Well, because we moved.
I had to decide what wallpaper was going on, and we got
God.
banana leaf carpet in the dining room.
We're going to end up with a row here.
No, we didn't then.
And I got this red paper with white horses on it, yeah. And it didn't match at all.
Never.
No.
I'm surprised.
So you don't fancy being
He just
an
liked the
interior?
paper.
I like these white horses on the paper, and in fact, we picked the fireplaces as well, didn't we? Because we put two new fireplaces in, and
Yeah.
that had got some pictures of some. What were they? I've forgotten now. Birds, I think.
Game birds, weren't they?
I think so.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah.
So you got married, you retired to bed,
Yeah.
and you were catapulted into the harvest.
2nd of October, that harvest was as black could be. The dust was tremendous coming off the.
You were
And you
just,
thought, I don't fancy that, I'm going to bed and leave it.
Not really, but that's how it turned out. And
it was really horrible.
when we got the corn in, we put them in sacks, and I don't know, we kept moving it, and just to try and because
Right.
Oh, was it not drying up?
we'd no drying facilities. It was just damp at that time of year, and
Yeah, just a
I
bad
don't-
year.
Yeah, horrible.
Eric Ellis was driving the combine and you were assisting him, yeah?
I think it was Will's combine. This
Oh,
one.
was it?
It was Will's combine,
It was a bagger though, not.
and you had a tractor pulling it.
What would have happened, Dad, if Mum hadn't got the harvest in? Presumably that would have been a really bad start to your marriage.
It would. Well, I don't know
Would you have
about
sent it? Would you have sent her back? Or?
that. No.
Right.
She obviously tried her best, Rob. I bet you were.
Couldn't control the weather.
No, but I mean, I've done a bit of combining, and the dust is horrendous, and that's on a good crop.
Yeah.
So on a bad crop, it must have been
The dust
filthy.
is different. It's choking,
Yeah.
really.
To round this episode off, Richard's arrival was just around the corner. Did anything eventful happen there? Was it an easy pregnancy?
Well, my brother got married on the 1st of April,
And it snowed.
and it snowed like mad. So we went to Halifax, and the Ainleys, they call it, a hill,
From
from
bottom of
Halifax
Elland
home.
into Huddersfield, really.
And Roger had me in the back of the van bouncing to make sure it went up the hill. And Auntie Ethel wasn't very pleased because obviously I was a few months pregnant.
Well, Richard were born in July, and this
Yeah.
was April, so you were
Yeah.
quite well on.
Yeah.
And my dad thought it were a good idea to use the extra ballast to make sure you got up the hill.
Yeah, that's right. That's what he did.
And Did you get up the hill, Dad?
Yeah, we got home.
Well, there you go, Rob.
Yeah.
Job sorted.
And Auntie Ethel, just for context, was your auntie from Durham,
Yes.
who was a midwife and thought nothing of Dad's plan.
No.
But thankfully, going down the hill, she didn't have to bounce, so we're all right.
And you didn't really want to get alongside of Auntie Ethel.
No.
Well, I'm very much hoping that you'll come back and see us again to tell us more about your Cannon Hall Farm journey. But thank you so much for today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Without doubt, my favourite guest so far.
You're a charmer.
Well, I've learnt a few things as well, Rob, because some of these stories I haven't even heard before.
Yeah?
No, so it's been really interesting.
Well, I think there's more to come. So
I'm
thank you
sure.
very, very much. And we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, so is that okay? Can I go home?
It is now.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cannon Hall Farm podcast.
We'll be back next time, so if you're listening on your podcast provider, please give us a follow.
To learn more about our history, you could purchase our books, Living Our Best Lives and Springtime at Cannon Hall Farm. They're available from the farm shop, or visit our website at www.cannonhallfarm.co.uk.
The books are a great read, and there's some lovely photos in there too.
Have you been looking at the photos of yourself again?
Well, I'm so much younger back then, Rob. Had dark hair.
We'll be back next time, but for now, I've been Farmer Rob.
I've been Farmer Dave. See you
Bye-bye.
later. Bye-bye.